Hello everyone, welcome to testing hot new makeup releases for May 2023. This is the video where I select some of the hottest new, most hyped up makeup releases and test them out for the very first time right here on camera. Being that the Sephora VIB sale was just a couple of weeks ago, there wasn't a ton of higher end products that I hadn't already tried because I ordered them during the sale, and then of course I had no patience to not try them on, and I wanted to give you all updates on those, so I tested those out already. But I do have a new concealer from Natasha Denona that I'm going to try today. The rest of the products I'll be trying out today are all affordable, which I know a lot of you appreciate. Some people tell me they prefer when my testing hot new makeup is all high-end. Other people tell me they prefer when it's all drugstore. And most of the time I try to do a balance of both. However, sometimes it just works out that way where it's all, or the majority is high-end or the majority is affordable. In this video, the majority is affordable. Except aside from the concealer that I just mentioned, I do have one other higher end product to test, and that would be the IT Cosmetics new Superhero Waterproof Mascara. So aside from those two things, I have a new primer from NYX that sounded interesting. It's called Freezy. It is a cooling primer. I also got my hands on the new L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour blushes. I purchased the pink and peach shades, and then while I was scrolling through the new releases at Ulta, I came upon a new Morphe eyeshadow palette called Magic Mirror. I don't typically purchase Morphe eyeshadow palettes, especially the big ones. I don't mind the smaller ones, but these big ones I just find pretty impractical for everyday use because I like to be able to hold an eyeshadow palette in my hand and sort of work off the palette as I'm doing my eyes. And these are not travel friendly and sometimes a little bit difficult to open. So I have not purchased one of these large Morphe palettes in a long time. And it looks like now, I don't know if they always had this, but there's a little paper in here that has the shade names. That's good, because that way I can put the shade names on the screen as I'm using them. But you've got to see this palette. It is absolutely beautiful. I don't know why there's a little gash in one of the shadows, but it doesn't look touched otherwise. So as you can see, it has a beautiful combination of mattes and shimmers. I was really drawn to the fact that this palette has such a good combination of warm tones and cool tones. You're basically getting the best of both worlds in this palette. This is why I purchased it in the first place. So I've got new primer, eyeshadow, blush, a couple of new lip products. This is the NYX Fat Oil. I think this has been out for maybe like a month or so, so it's not as new as I typically like my new releases to be. But every time I have gone into Ulta, they have been sold out. This was the first time I ever went and found at least one shade in stock. And then I have this new, I didn't realize it was new, but it's definitely new. This is the Milani Stay Put Liquid Lip. I thought they already had these, but I guess they reformulated them or came out with more shades because I recently received this huge PR package, and these types of PR packages typically only come out when a product is new. And then I went on the Milani website and saw this, and it says right there in bold, new Stay Put Liquid Lip in 12 longwear transfer-proof soft matte shades. So yeah, we are going to try out one of the new Milani liquid lipsticks, and then I think I'm going to top it off with this Fat Oil gloss. But enough talking, let's get started. I am very intrigued by this primer. I have to put my readers on though. It is a cooling primer and moisturizer, and it contains niacinamide and snow mushroom. So as you can see, it comes in a jar, and I'm gonna peel off this plastic lid, and it does look like a jelly. I am going to take a little bit on my finger. It kind of feels like the Huda Beauty Glow Wish primer, if you've ever tried that. Wow, it diffused the look of my pores. That's nice. It does feel very cooling. Wow, I did not expect it to be pore smoothing because it doesn't claim to be pore smoothing. Okay, since I don't have a new foundation to test out, today I'm going to try a new combo. I think a lot of you have probably heard of Samantha Schwerman. She is a fellow beauty YouTuber. I would consider her maybe one of the OG YouTubers because I remember watching her before I started my channel. And I rediscovered her over on TikTok. And she is very oily like I am. And over on TikTok, she does these almost daily reviews of new foundations or foundation combos that she uses that work on her oily skin. And she'll do check-ins at like 4 hours or 8 hours or 10 hours. And recently she said that the combination of the original Estee Lauder Double Wear and the Estee Lauder Double Wear Sheer was a beautiful, beautiful long wearing combination. One of the best she's ever tried. And I have had this foundation sitting in a bin for probably 2 years. I don't remember when this launched, but it was a while ago and I did not like it. I'm shaking it up really good. Hopefully the consistency isn't just ruined, but I'm gonna take one for the team and we are gonna try out this combo. So I'm gonna put a little bit of the original Estee Lauder Double Wear on my hand. This is 1N2 and this is in shade 3N2. So hopefully it'll be a good combination. I'm blending it together on the back of my hand and it is a good match. It's a little dark because that 3N2 is a little dark for me right now. It's a good color for me when I have self-tanned, but I do like how this combination is definitely more lightweight than Double Wear alone. That is a very, very nice combo. I need a little bit more though, I think, to do the rest of my face, but it's blending out really, really nicely. Okay, I just need a little bit more for my nose area. Do a much smaller amount, blend it together, and just apply it onto my nose. Okay, I wanna look up close. Oh, that looks nice. I've said it before and I'll say it again, influencers can be influenced as well. Happens all the time. Okay, foundation I think is looking good. So now we can try that new Natasha Denona concealer. It is called High Glam Concealer. It is a brightening and hydrating crease-proof serum concealer. And I have the shade R2, which has a little bit more of a rosy tone, or it should have more of a rosy tone to it. I do not like when my concealers are too yellow. I lean towards peach or rosy tones. I'm gonna pop that right in here. I'm gonna take a damp Beauty Blender sponge and go like this, blend out that concealer. It's a little light for me, but it's definitely brightening up my lids. Not my lids, my under eyes. Actually, what I forgot to do, what I should have done, is put on my eyeshadow primer. So I am going to take a break for a second and put on my eyeshadow primer, because what I like to do is put the eyeshadow primer on and then take a little concealer and go over it with that too. I'm just popping on a little NARS Pro Prime. This one is almost empty, but it'll work for today. Just putting a little bit of that there and underneath my lashes. I'll go back in with the sponge that still has a little concealer on it and go over my lids and this entire area, bringing it down to the sides of my nose, just covering this whole area. And if this happens to be your first time watching one of my videos, I do apply concealer pretty sloppily. I don't know if that's a word. I'm not very precise with my application, my concealer application. I just know after so many years of doing my makeup that this area right here is where I need the coverage. So that's where I place it. And it just seems to work because I take a sponge and blend it out and all is well. Now to do a little contouring, I'm using this Makeup Forever face palette, using the 2 lighter contour shades, and I'm just sort of stamping that around the perimeter of my face. And then a little bit down the sides of my nose. I'm going to set that contour with the Lawless bronzer. And then set my T-zone with the Laura Mercier Ultra Blur Translucent Loose Powder. Dusting that just right through my T-zone and onto my lids. Since I don't have a new brow product to show you today, I just went ahead and did my brows using this Charlotte Tilbury brow pencil and this Too Faced laminating brow wax. So now let's dive into this new Morphe 35 MI Magic Mirror Palette. Starting with the shade Wild Effects, and then also dipping my brush into Dreams and Fantasies. And I'm just running that through my crease. Chin up, eyes down. These are very pigmented. Whoa. Very pigmented. I was not expecting that. I have not used a Morphe eyeshadow palette in a long time. Wow. And I know I say this in almost every video, but being that I have hooded eyes, one of my best tips is to look straight into the mirror with your eyes open, push in where your crease would be, and then lift your brows up and blend out. I am very impressed with the pigmentation of this palette. Now I'm going in with a smaller brush. This is a BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy A502 brush. And just FYI, I think this video is going to go up right before BK Beauty, or I don't know, I never know exactly when my videos are going to go up, but I think it's going to be right before BK Beauty has their Mother's Day sale, where everything on the website will be 20% off. The Angie Hot and Flashy brushes, their core line, all their brushes, and the Risa Does Makeup lashes as well. So if you haven't gotten them yet, that will be the time to try them. I can't decide if I want to keep this look warm or cool. I think I'm gonna go like in between. I'm gonna use two what I would consider neutral browns, Voila and Pink Perception. They're calling this a pink. It doesn't look very pink to me. It looks like a mauve brown. I'm gonna dip my brush into both of those, tap off the excess, and do my usual lifting of the outer corners of my eye by just patting it right on the outer corner. Pat, 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 instead of blend, 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 because having mature eyes, if I do too much of this, the shadow's going to get into the folds because my lid skin is not as taut as it once was. So I'm just patting away. Then I use my finger to do a little bit more blending. Look at that pigment. I'm gonna go back in with the first brush and a little bit of a lighter shade. I used Dreams and Fantasies first, and now I'm going up one to Instantly Enchanted. And I'm just sort of diffusing the two shades a little bit. The crease shade and the outer corner shade. Blending it up and out towards my temples. And now I'm taking a flat brush and using the matte ivory shade called Trick of the Light, and I'm putting that right under the arch of my brow. This is also going to help blend out the upper portion of the crease color. Now for the lid, I'm going to start by using my finger just to test the pigmentation, and if it works well with just my finger, I'll stop there. If not, I will take a brush and dampen it and see how that looks. I'm gonna keep it sort of neutral and try this Shining Moment. Such a pretty color. It's like a shimmering taupe. It's not super pigmented, but you know what? I don't mind it. It kind of reminds me of the shimmers in the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette. So it's buildable. And I think at this point I changed my mind. I'm not gonna go in with a brush, a damp brush, because even though it's not like bam, shimmer, it's pretty. I like it. It's subtle and I don't know, I'm really liking it. Can you see? It's really pretty. So it does take a few times to build it up. Woohoo, okay. Now, I'm going to take my tiny eyeliner brush from BK Beauty that I love. It is the 208, and I'm going to dip into the dark matte brown called Under a Spell, and I'm going to line my upper lash lines. It's very nice and richly pigmented, even without a damp brush. And you know what? I didn't really get much fallout from the shadows at all. Practically none. Now it's time to clean up the outer corners. So I'm just taking my handy dandy Makeup Forever palette again, dipping into 2 of the darker shades, and just carving out right under that sort of wing shape that I made. And then just using my finger to blend it out. You can also use a pointed Q-tip with some makeup remover or a baby wipe, not a baby wipe, a makeup wipe. Now I'm going to take a pencil brush, if I can find it. I'm going to use this BK Beauty 210, and I'm going to go into that first combo that I used in my crease of Wild Effects and Dreams and Fantasies. Tap off the excess and just do a soft blend along my lower lash lines. And then for my tear ducts, I'm using the shade Future Flash. So that's it for the eyeshadow. Now it's time to curl the lashes and try out that waterproof mascara. Now, unfortunately, I did not have the best of luck with the non-waterproof superhero mascara. After about 2 uses, I pulled it out of the tube and it was just one big glop of mascara. And usually that happens when the stopper accidentally gets pulled out, the little thing around the top that usually wipes off any excess mascara. That's normally what happens when that's missing, but it was not missing, and it happened again. I believe I ended up exchanging it, and the same thing happened with the new one. This was sent to me, full disclosure, in a PR package, because let's be honest, after that happened twice with 2 mascaras that I paid for, I was not intending to purchase this one, but we're gonna test it because they sent it to me, and why not? Now, I don't personally like to wear waterproof mascara on a regular basis, because I do find them to be quite drying to the lashes for every day, but they are definitely better at holding curl, and definitely the kind you want to wear if you're going to wear mascara to the beach or the pool, or if you're going to be crying. It gave me some length, not a ton of length, but I have short puny lashes. It gave me some length, it gave me some volume. I do feel like as I pull this out though, that it's gonna happen again. Like it just feels almost too, I don't know, I can't explain it. It's like when I pull it out, I just feel like a lot of the product is glopping onto the wand, and still not enough is being taken off as it passes through the top. Yeah, and this side is definitely going on more gloppy. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but I certainly got a lot more clumps on the right eye than on the left eye. I don't know, a lot of people love this mascara, but I just have an issue with the formula, I guess. So the only reason why I did a second coat was to even out both sides. I'm still going to be placing a corner lash on because that's what I do. All right, I'm so excited to try the new L'Oreal Infallible blush. It's interesting, in person, the coral and the pink look almost identical. I am going to use Fearless Coral. It's a very pretty matte blush, and there's a mirror in here. Now I'm wondering if the bronzers have that too, and I just didn't notice. Okay, well, I'm still gonna use my hand mirror. Tap off the excess. I feel like I may have put too much on this brush because this looks like it's going to be very pigmented. Let me tap it off. Oh, yes. Yes, very pigmented. So actually, I'm not going to use my hand mirror. It's too close up. I'm gonna use this mirror. Oh, pretty. Wow. What a great color. What great pigmentation. I know it looks lighter on camera because of the lights, but trust me when I say that this is, really pigmented. Oh, this is beautiful. Beautiful. Love. Oh, okay. Tapping off the excess would be recommended, highly recommended. If you know me, you know I love blush, and I go to town with my blush, clearly. Oh, I love it. This is just making me so happy. Yeah, I think this is going to end up in a video like the ones that I've done in the past where I talk about affordable products that rival high-end. This will be included. So for lip liner, I'm using one of my new favorites that I got at the Sephora VIB sale or savings event. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip liner in Muted Mauve. This is incredible. It goes with every lip color. And then in the Milani, I chose shade 120. You know, the typical Risa nude pink. So it's going on very smoothly. It's not streaking. It feels a little dry, but you know, most liquid lipsticks do. It doesn't feel terrible though. I've definitely tried drier liquid lipsticks. Okay, let's do a kiss test because it's supposed to be transfer proof. Oh. Well, that's good. Let's do it again. Nothing. Right? Nothing? I don't see anything. Nice. In the NYX Fat Oil, I purchased Supermodel. It looks like it's a sheer rosy pink. Very pretty. The applicator looks very similar to the Dior lip oil. Ooh, I think this is pretty. Very pretty combo. I think what I'm gonna do now, since we're pretty much done, the eyes are done, cheeks, foundation, lips, I'm going to go apply some of my Risa Does Makeup Martini Corner Lashes. Then I will fix my hair, put some clothes on, and then I will do what I always do, which is come back and wrap this all up in a little bow by telling you my final thoughts on my first impressions of all of these products. Here is the finished look in natural light using my iPhone. You guys, I love this look. This might be one of the best testing hot new makeup releases outcomes I've ever gotten. And I've been doing these videos pretty consistently for more than a year. I love, so far, everything that I put on my face today. I will, of course, put a caption on the screen about how the foundation combo, which weren't new products, but it was a new combo for me, how that held up, as well as how the concealer lasted throughout the day. Did it crease? Did it get cakey? But as of now, I love everything. I love the eyeshadow palette. I mean, it's not, as I think I said earlier, travel friendly, which is kind of a bummer because I would love to take this with me when I go to Hawaii at the end of May. It's just such a beautiful palette and the quality is just really good. These blushes, get them. Get them now. As of right now, I am only aware of 4 different shades. I used, again, the coral today. I'm gonna try the pink tomorrow. I have a feeling I will be mentioning these again in another video. The 2 darker shades that are available, I think will look beautiful on medium to dark skins. The only product that I tried today that I'm just sort of iffy about is the IT Cosmetics Superhero Waterproof Mascara. And I think during the demo, you saw why I'm a little bit iffy on this. It went on beautifully for the left eye. It went on rather clumpy for the second eye. Maybe I'll try just to not go back in again for the second eye. I'll try to just do one dip for both eyes. That's not usually how I do things, but there's just something about this formula that does not work for me. I am also extremely happy about how the lip combination came out. I would suggest though, if you have very dry lips, to maybe pass on this matte liquid lip because as I mentioned, it does feel a little bit drying, but on the plus side, it is transfer proof if you don't go and put a gloss on top like I did, because if you do put a gloss on, obviously the gloss is going to come off on your glass, or if you're kissing someone, it's going to come off. But I do really, really like the NYX fat oil, this is a really, really excellent alternative to the very expensive Dior lip oil. Hopefully they're not still sold out everywhere. Of course, I will link all of the products down below in the description box. As always, I really, really hope you enjoyed this video. I thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch it. And if you did enjoy this and found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, please do click on that subscribe button. I do upload new videos at least twice per week. You can also find more content from me over on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook under the same username, Risa Does Makeup. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.